fighter. I think he's amazing. I think he has great technique. He has crazy knockout power.
We all know Tank best weight is 35, 40. You fought Barrios at 40, 35, 40. And you fight Jake Paul, who getting better. I'm like I said, and he got 6 feet tall. Where Tank gonna hit him?
Gervonta Tank Davis kicked off his first day of training camp for the Jake Paul fight with explosive intensity. During pad work, Davis unleashed a blistering 35-punch combination, showing off his trademark speed and knockout power. His sharp movements and precision made one thing clear: Tank is locked in and ready. Fans and analysts see this as a strong statement. Davis is preparing to dismantle Jake Paul with experience, discipline, and relentless pressure. Davis then set social media buzzing with an Instagram post. "See you all soon. I guess ATL gonna be two-turned. Tell them to send that bag and I'm coming." The message carried 2 points. First, he's eager to step back in the ring. Second, he demands respect for the business side of boxing. In today's fight game, where legacy and money must balance, Tank's words hit hard. This wasn't just a casual post, it was a declaration that he knows his worth and won't settle for less. Before this fight was even official, Davis had already made his feelings clear about Jake Paul. He once dismissed Paul's boxing journey as trash, echoing the skepticism many professionals feel toward celebrities crossing into combat sports.
I text that again. Tell them boys to give me 150 M's. I'm coming. You know what I mean? When I start streaming out that, and that, stop it. Knock it off, cuz. Stop it. Tell them to send that bag and I'm coming. And I'm, you know.
Tank suggested Paul only took up boxing after getting bored with YouTube. That criticism sums up the clash between boxing purists and the new wave of entertainment fighters. But here's the twist: Paul's persistence has forced even elite boxers to acknowledge him. The fact that Davis is now set to face him proves just how far Paul has come, turning what many thought was a gimmick into one of the most talked about events in the sport. The Davis versus Paul fight has sparked fierce debate. Some say it confirms boxing's shift from merit and legacy to pure spectacle. Critics argue this matchup waters down the sport, turning it into a circus act.
Athletes and celebrities like Jake Paul taking up boxing, you think that grows the sport?
If he's doing it for the right reason, actually want to do it because of just like actually want to box, it's cool. But if he's doing it for like the wrong reason, just to get the hype and stuff like that, I feel as though it's trash. Sometimes people get bored at what they want, what they doing, and they want to try other stuff. Got to be mentally tough to be able to box. So that's why I don't take that away from some fighters or some people that want to jump into the sport. So just show how tough you are. That's how it should be.
For sure. That's all I got. Thank you, bro.
Yet others remind us boxing has always been part sport, part show business. From Ollie's charisma to Tyson's pay-per-view dominance, the spectacle has always sold. Whether fans see this fight as a joke or a blockbuster depends on how they view that balance. Former contender Jesse Hart defended Davis, blasting critics for missing the point. Hart argued Tank isn't abandoning legacy, he's navigating the modern boxing business. He said, Tank has the right to prioritize financial opportunities, even if some interpret it as joining the circus. Hart's comments highlight the divide even among fighters. Some say Davis should be chasing names like Shocker Stevenson or Teofimo Lopez, while others understand the pull of massive paydays against globally recognized opponents like Paul.
Boxing has gone too far. Jake Paul is taking on Gervonta Tank Davis in an exhibition bout this November. The fight will be taking place in Atlanta between the cruiserweight and the 135-pounder, nearly a 100-pound difference between the two guys. This is absolutely insane. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments down.
While most analysts favor Davis, not everyone agrees. Commentator Andy Ross shocked fans by predicting Jake Paul will win.
If you want to join a circus, that's the circus. I don't see the value. I just see money involved in that. If they want the money, if that's what they want to do, then go ahead and go ahead and get the money. But other than that, I'm not. You got a guy, Jake Paul, that's what, 6'3", 6'4", almost. Then you got a guy, Gervonta Davis, that's like 5'5", a little guy. Yeah. And y'all gonna try to, who's 200 pounds, who's for Mike Tyson there, I'm gonna throw him in there with a 135. It's just a circus, and that's what they want to do, to give money, to generate money in the sport of boxing instead of Gervonta Davis. This is a legacy fight. He was supposed to fight Lamont Rope after this, and then he say, no. Think about it. You You really can't say too much. When you say Gervonta Tank Davis and you say Lamont Roach, it's still a question mark on that fight. It was still a question mark on that Rumble. You just going to leave it and then go right to the money and say, no, I ain't. That's how you know legacy and everything don't matter. I did that before. I took the money with the Joe Smith fight when my hand was fucked up and, excuse my language, my hand was messed up, broke in training camp, and I still said, yo, no, I'm taking that. I'm still fighting him. I'm not going to not fight him again. I'm going to fight. We're fighting him, Dad. We're fighting him, Rick. We're fighting him, Fred. I went against everybody. Jesse, don't take the fight, man. Let your hand heal. Let's get the surgery. No, I'm fighting him. It's too close. We 3 weeks out. I'm fighting him.
He's fighting Gervonta Davis.
Crazy.
Your thoughts on this?
I have locks with Snaggy right there. I think Jake Paul wins that fight. You're way, look, obviously Gervonta Davis has way more experience. He's a hell of a fighter. He's done so much more for boxing and you know, than a lot of people. But to say that, you know, that's not, everyone's going to want to watch that fight. I think it's a genius idea. I think Jake Paul sets the craziest expectations, and I think he sets the bar so high now in the boxing world. Jake Paul revived boxing. You know, people could say what they want to say about it, but Jake Paul really revived the sport of boxing. You know, Joe Rogan once said previously, not so long ago, but he did speak about how boxing would eventually die out and all the eyes would shift to MMA. And it's true. I sit there, I'll watch UFC whenever there's an amazing, pay-per-view event. I'm always watching it. Boxing, I don't really watch it as much. And yeah, you can call me a casual to the sport. I'm just getting into it. But to the people that are just getting into the sport, UFC is like the new boxing, what it was 20, 30 years ago. Mm-hmm. So Jake Paul is changing and reviving the sport of boxing, in my opinion. But, I think that Jake Paul wins that fight. I love Gervonta as a fighter. I think he's amazing. I think he has great technique. He has crazy knockout power. Don't underestimate him.
You've spoken to him before, haven't you?
Yeah.
When you're doing it was you and Ron Garcia and Gervonta and Tank when they were both fighting.
Yeah. I just spoke with Gervonta today, actually. So, when I get back to Miami, him and I might do something. I don't know. But, you know, I think,
I don't see, even at an exhibition. Now, first of all, we went with the Mike Tyson thing, right? So Mike Tyson, 60 years old. You know, obviously we all thinking that, you know, he had to pull his punches against Jake. Either one of them, both of them had to do something to get through the fight, you know, so they couldn't do their 100% thing in the fight. Now we talking about a 135-pound guy, 5'3", right? Against a 6 foot, 200-pound guy. What is the point of that? I'm asking you, what is the point of that? What is the point of that, and how you think that's going to go? So Jake Paul, just alone, on strength alone, Tank is not we just seen him struggle with Lamont Roach, right? Who's a guy his size. Now, Jake Paul is not as talented as Lamont Roach, but come on now, we ain't talking about 2 weight classes. We talking about 4, 5, 6 weight classes. We got to go from 35, we got to go to 40, 47, 54, 60, 68, 75, 90. That's 7 weight class difference. 7 weight class difference. 7 weight class difference. We talking about 7 weight class difference. We all know Tank best weight is 35, 40. You fought Barrios at 40, 35, 40. And you fight Jake Paul, who getting better. I'm like I said, and he got 6 feet tall. Where Tank gonna hit him? Where is Tank gonna land some punch? And he don't throw a lot of punches. Come on now. He didn't knock Lamont Roach out. You gonna knock Jake Paul out? So what's the point of the exhibition?
Ross explained that Paul's size, strength, and awkward style could be key. He admitted Davis has the pedigree, but Paul's self-belief and unorthodox approach make the fight genuinely unpredictable. His prediction may be unpopular, but it shows how much respect Paul has quietly earned still.
He wants the respect of legitimacy. He doesn't want to be looked at like some type of, you know, I don't know, circus act. Like, you know, people think that he's doing these fights that are being thrown. He's not legitimate, you know, and his detractors are saying that it's like, yeah, okay, well, you did this and you did that, but these guys were old, or, you know, they were retired, or this and that. But the fact of the matter is, when you fought a real fighter, you lost. So people are like, you're not legitimate. That's what people say. So after everything I've seen on him, if he can beat Tank Davis, I think he'll have his legitimacy card. If he can beat or do something like Rocky 1 to where you got people questioning who won, then he's going to get all the respect in the world. That's how I think it's going to go. Because I've seen Tank just destroy people, body people, play with his food, with people. You know what I'm saying? Tank is legit.
The fight was actually 15-1 in favor of Gervonta Tank Davis. So the whole world wants to see Gervonta Tank Davis rematch Lamont Roach. Was it a fluke? Was it, a bad night for Tank Davis? Was it a style matchup? Bad matchup for Tank Davis? Does Lamont just have his number? They fought twice in the amateurs in close fights. What is it, right? And Gervonta Tank Davis, in the eyes of the boxing world, needs to rematch Lamont Roach. So Shakur addresses why you not rematching Lamont Roach. You was rumored to rematch him. He was rumored to rematch him in June 21st. He didn't sign. Then August 16th, he didn't sign. But he told you the night of the fight, the post-fight press conference with Lamont Roach, that he not rematch him no time soon because he already had this set up with Jake Paul. So Shakur says he would do the same thing as long as he could rematch Lamont Roach because of his competitive nature.
Fighting Lamont, he'd be fighting Jake, whatever. At first I was like, damn, Tank, like that's kind of crazy. Like, that's fucked up. But then I started thinking about it throughout the day. I'm thinking about it, I'm seeing the posts and shit. And I'm like, yo, none of this shit is guaranteed. Like, none of this shit that we do in life is guaranteed. And it's also not a guarantee that we all gonna be here for a long time. You know what I mean? We all know somebody that died too early. You know what I'm saying? And one thing I know about life, when I hear old heads talk, you ask them about regrets. I wish I would have did this. I wish I would have did that. I wish I could have did this. I wish I could have did that. At the end of the day, man, he taking a shot at some money. We all wish we could have made that kind of money. I don't understand the issue. He could come back and fight whoever he want after that. His career is not over just because you fighting Jake Paul. Jake Paul ain't no type of fucking demon. It's not like he about to go in there with Godzilla. You about to play around for 8 rounds, 2 minutes with a dickhead. You know what I mean? No disrespect. But, with somebody that think they know how to fight. This is a bank robbery. You know what I'm saying? This is what people do in the corporate world every day. Steal fucking money. He doing it. I'm not mad at that man. Fuck that. I ain't mad at Tank for some shit like that. I'm mad. I was irked about the fact that I'm a boxing guy and I love great fights. But at the same time, if I stop over here to make some good money and then go back to doing what I was doing, there's nothing wrong with that. Anybody who's waiting around for Tank, or anybody who's so tuned into Tank that they mad, they need to get a fucking life. Because if you think about it,
not everyone is convinced the fight will even happen. Negotiations and business hurdles remain, but one thing is certain: if Tank Davis and Jake Paul step into the same ring, it will be one of the biggest and most polarizing events in boxing history. That's it for today's video. Stay tuned, more updates, predictions, and behind-the-scenes news are coming your way.